So, allegations have now come forward from staff members who've worked with Phillip about him being a nightmare of a person and very rude to them. The story is just getting more and more interesting. Hey guys, it's Rob Ronnie. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content. Click that button and subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. It's just one click, guys. So get into this. We'll not waste any time. 3-4 minutes. There are now allegations coming forward from staff who've worked with Phillip Schofield saying that he is a nightmare to deal with. Phillip has been accused of throwing cue cards at the staff and branding this morning workers very thick for making mistakes. The TV presenter has stepped down from all ITV projects after confessing to an affair with a younger colleague on set of This Morning and lying about it to his bosses. Eamon Holmes, sorry guys, I was saying Eamon yesterday, my apologies. Eamon Holmes has been vocal about his feelings on Phillip, branding him as a chief narcissist, while also Dr. Ranj spoke out on the toxic work environment at This Morning. This Morning, whistleblowers have come forward and alleged that Phil, 61, threw cue cards at a researcher's head and branded the employee thick for making typos in show notes. Sources told this article that Phillip was a nightmare to work with as they discussed the reality of working on the popular ITV show. One insider who worked on the show in 2017 said, "Phillip was an absolute nightmare. I saw him angrily throwing a cue card at a researcher's head and called them stupid for making a typo. Producers would comfort each other as it was horrible. We used to look forward to Eamon and Ruth covering for the holidays, especially over the summer for 6 weeks." Another This Morning source who worked on the show in 2022 claims Phillip was very particular with briefs. He hated it when anybody used the word kids instead of children or celebs instead of celebrities in his briefs, or when things were underlined too much. He'd get really annoyed. Come on, arrest this man at this point, because at this point, if it's not whatever was going on, people are now come forward saying that, he's thrown stuff at them. Not the police coming on time. He'd get really annoyed. He would shout and he'd refuse to read them altogether or get people to redo them. Considering you could be writing briefs last minute or working until 1:30 or 2 in the morning, that's a lot of added work for somebody. It is quite ridiculous, but something everyone learned to do on a Phil and Holly show. Phil allegedly would purposely throw a spanner in the works to test the team in senior meetings. The source continued, Phil would give his own suggestions for the morning view at the last minute, and the team would have to scramble to get everything in place. He would make a habit of choosing the ones he wanted instead of the ones the team worked hard to pick for him. Over the years, he made members of the team cry because they didn't get the clip in time when he asked to throw it. In some ways, he wanted to be totally in control. He had this constant need to always be in control. People would relax more when it was Alison and Dermot's show, as they were a lot less particular. Another member of the team who appeared on screen between 2015 to 2018 also opened up on Phillip's behaviour as well as that of his co-host Holly. They said you would say hi to them and they would ignore you. Holly would look up at you and down, make you feel like you're not wanted. They would stay in their dressing rooms until filming would start. Once the show was over, everyone would talk to you, but Phil and Holly would walk off like you're below them. To be honest, they would behave like their shit doesn't stink. The atmosphere on set was very uncomfortable, like they wanted you to model, but they didn't want you on set. In my opinion, they were very fake once filming began, and it was difficult to keep smiling on set. Whereas being on the show with Ruth and Eamon, you felt like part of This Morning. They would make an effort to speak to you or take an interest. You felt wanted. Whew, okay, so 3 whistleblowers, who've worked on This Morning in a time frame have all come to say that they feel uncomfortable throwing cue cards, being upset, basically exerting control because, I believe he had a power trip. At one point, he was the biggest presenter in the UK, high in demand, and I guess he just used that power. So it is interesting when we pose the argument of be kind, which I think should always be present for everybody, but should we be kind? Should we be kind to somebody who's not kind to others? I just find it very interesting where staff members are coming forward saying they felt very uncomfortable around him and that, he would make them feel or belittle them at their work when they would be working early on in the mornings, etc. And they made them feel unwelcomed. So this is now coming out. This is now the segment. You would think that everything would begin to die down after Holly's script speech yesterday, but now it seems that this is coming out as well. I do think that we should all show grace to people to an extent, but when children are involved, I personally find it very triggering and sensitive because I have been in that position as the young 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old with these 40, 50-year-old men and have done things for them that I should never have been doing, and I didn't have any control. I would just be beaten and locked in rooms and, told to do things. But, because we are boys, the story of grooming doesn't really become something. And it looks like your part. It's just very upsetting to me. And it just only makes me think that if I went through it, how many other boys are going through it? And so many have been in touch with me discreetly about things that they have done or been made to do, or by grown men who've been doing X, Y, Z to them. And there's just no, they don't know where to go for any help. There's nothing. We failed our boys. That's what I feel. I feel like I was failed in my environment, and we have failed our boys that are growing up, and somebody needs to do something to try and help these boys, put them on the right timeline, get them in, post-school groups, put them into sports, or put them into, anything that's their passion, art, or whatever, and to also put them in a position where they can go to therapy if people around them are touching them up or making them do things or putting them in environments, exploiting them. There is nothing. You can tell that I'm very passionate about this because I've now randomly gone into the speech when this has got nothing to do with the video. But this is why I find this whole situation triggering, and why I just want to not make these videos about F him, but rather less focus on hopefully trying to build something for our young boys, no matter what color they are, and that, they can just be better people today. Because I just feel like in this world, it's only getting more dark and dark, guys. But anyways, this morning workers have spoken out, 3 of them. Are there going to be more whistleblowers? Is there going to be more stuff coming out? But this is what they've said about Phil. And yeah. Let me know your thoughts on when it comes to this, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Click that button for daily and consistent content. It's just one click, guys. Subscribe for consistent, quick updates. And I'll catch you guys soon for another review.